So we'll stick with Genesis here this morning. And yesterday we were in chapter 9. We saw this is right post the flood with Noah. And what it left off was Noah getting drunk and his son Ham humiliating him, which is code word, biblical terms at that time, that Ham slept with his mom, Noah's wife, and from there, the child from that was Canaan, and Noah then curses Canaan, that child, and the descendants. Soap opera, right? Chapter 10 is describing all the descendants of Noah's children, okay? And then we come across today, chapter 11, and you have this iconic, if you will, grew up hearing about it, like kid story, the Tower of Babel. And it almost seems like this silly story that kind of like almost out of nowhere too, because the next chapter, chapter 12, we begin with the call of Abraham and him leaving the homeland, and God's going to make him now the new Abrahamic covenant, which we talked about yesterday, the covenants. But this, nothing's out of place in the Bible, right? And it can kind of seem like what God's doing is cruel even, but God's, right? It's always important when we interpret the scriptures is to start from the spot of God's always right, okay? And so we see as they're building, they say, "Come, let us build ourselves a city and a tower with its top in the sky," or another translation say, "to the heavens. And so make a name for ourselves. Otherwise, we shall be scattered all over the earth." And so there's this sense, or the idea here, as humans will make something so great, right, that it will reach the heavens. It will replace the transcendence. It will replace God. We saw what happened before with Noah and the flood. We're getting big again, and chapter 10 is all about of one voice and coming and power and getting big. And now it's the danger always of maybe getting too big and too strong. And this idea of let's replace God. We need to replace God, or the work of human hands of transcendence. And I've been, I don't know if you've come across the this new chat AI, artificial intelligence is starting to pick up a lot of steam with talking about it. I mean, it's a lot of fun. I was over at a family's house a couple of weeks ago, and you just type in chat AI, chat GPT, I believe it's called. It's artificial intelligence, and you can type in there let's see, what did we typed in give the narrative, give the birth narrative of Jesus using Dr. Seuss style writing. And in 3 seconds, it will just rip it out. It's incredibly awesome and fun. But we're at the spot with artificial intelligence, even I was reading something this morning, experts behind it, right? And a lot of those that are behind this are more of the agnostic atheists. And what's the, it's just there can be an idea, right? Technology is neither good nor bad, it's neutral, okay? Artificial intelligence is more complicated of what artificial intelligence can do, and I find it very interesting, so I'm not going to have a homily about that. But it is to say this: it's not a good idea to try to play God. It's not a good idea to try to replace the transcendence. And there's a warning of this in this story of the Tower of Babel, because God notices what's happening, what's going on. And he says, nothing will later stop them from doing whatever they presume to do. Let us then go down, therefore, and confuse their language. The Lord scattered them from all over the earth, and they stopped building the city. The Lord confused the speech of the world. It was from that place that he scattered them all over the world. So there's, I think we would be wise to apply this Tower of Babel, to just our current mindset of whether it's through technology or even with politics. As the God goes out the window, it's like politics is the new God, or technology. Like, to what extent are we expecting, do we want to replace God? And to what extent are we trying to do that? And maybe not even on purpose. And it's not a good idea to play God. The result, even from this story, is they're not able to see each other. They're not able to talk to each other and understand each other. And so, so the thing for us to do maybe is to worship God, is to make sure we worship him, that he is being itself, and that he's not one to replace. He can't be replaced. And to the extent that we try and think that it can happen, or we make strides to do it, it leads to destruction. It leads to maybe the result of the Tower of Babel. But to end on a high note, we want to place our trust in God, and we want to make sure we worship him because of his goodness. His ways are good. He's merciful. He's loving, and we want others to know it, and we want others to worship him and not try to replace him via any other means.